Hey guys, this is slope intercept and point slope review. So we have three different formulas that we're going to be using. First of all, just the slope formula, which is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, or rise over run, and we use b to represent that. We have our slope intercept form, or y equals mx plus b, and our point slope form, which is y minus y1 equals m times x minus x1. Let's go ahead and start with a simple slope problem. So we're being asked to find the slope of 3, 2, and 4, 1. So let's go ahead and start by labeling our coordinates. Remember that these are x, y coordinate pairs. And because these are the first x, y coordinate pairs, they're x1 and y1. And then because these are the second pair, this is x2 and y2. So let's go ahead and plug that into our formula. So when we plug it in, we get 4 minus 3 over 1 minus 2, or 1 over negative 2, or we can rewrite that as negative 1/2. So we can write the slope-intercept form given the slope and y-intercept. So we are going to be given to it, so 1 second. So here we can see that we wrote down y equals mx plus b, and that b is our y-intercept and m is our slope, so we can go ahead and just straight plug that in. And our y and x are just variables, so we just get y equals 5 over 2x plus 3. Now in this case, we're going to be asked to write the point slope form given a slope and a point. So when we're given a point, we want to use point slope form. When we're giving a y-intercept, we want to use slope intercept form, just kind of based on their name. So let's go ahead and start with the slope. We know that our m is still our slope from our last example. So we're going to keep that negative 2 there. And from our last example, we even know that our y and our x are just variables, so they stay consistent. In this example, we're given a point and we're given a y1 and x1. So we're actually going to label this x1 and y1 and then just plug it into where they go. So for y1, it's 2, but it's y minus 2. So we're going to keep that negative in there, and x minus 3. So that's our form. Y minus 2 is equal to negative 2 times x minus 3, and that is our point slope form. Alright, so this time it's giving us 2 points and it's asking us to write the equation of a line in slope-intercept form. So as we saw before, for both of these equations, we actually need to have the slopes. Let's go ahead and start by finding that. So when we plug it in, we get 2 minus negative 3 over 4 minus 2. But remember, when we have two negatives next to each other, we make it a positive, so we get 2 plus 3 equals 5 over 4 minus 2, which is 2. So our slope is 5 over 2. Now we can't put it straight into slope-intercept form because we don't have the y-intercept, so we're actually going to have to start by putting it into point slope form using our x1 and y1. So I wrote point slope formula, in a little bit of color code, so we're just going to start by plugging in. So we have our constants, or y and x, they don't change, so we can go ahead and write them down. And in this case, our y1, which is pink, is 2. And again, we already have that negative, so we're going to write minus 2 is equal to, we're given our slope, or we found our slope of 5 over 2, so we just plug that in. And then we get x minus negative 3, so we're going to have to make it into x plus 3. So now we can solve for slope-intercept form, because we know we want to get into y equals mx plus b form. To start us off, we have to distribute our 5 over 2, and we get y minus 2 is equal to 5 over 2 x plus, if we do our little multiplication over here, remember that 3 over 1 is the same thing as 3, and we get 15 over 2. And then we can finally solve for our x by adding 2 on both sides. And we get y is equal to 5 over 2x plus, and we can either add like fractions over here. Remember that 2 as a fraction is 2 over 1. And if we want a common denominator, we can multiply by 2 on both top and bottom to get 4 over 2. And we can get 19 over 2. Or we could have turned 15 over 2 into a decimal by dividing, and we're going to get 7.5, and 7.5 plus 2 is equal to 9.5, which is this equivalent of 19/2. And that is our final answer for that question, as well as the end of our video.